Racism continues to be a daily battle in South Africa. Despite the visible progress South Africa has made over the years, there's still a lot of racism entrenched within society. Now, the Kathrada Foundation will launch its 2019 Youth Essay Competition against racism. Young people from across the country are encouraged to participate in this competition with the hope of getting an understanding of young people's thinking around racism in society. And to tell us more about the competition, we're joined in studio by Busisiwe Nkosi, the coordinator for the Ahmed Kathrada Foundation Essay Writing Competition Against Racism. Busi, a very good morning and welcome.
Good morning and thanks for having us once again.
How are you doing? Good to see you again.
Likewise.
All right, now we see racism being perpetuated in so many forms in South Africa. Despite threats of prosecution, people still perpetuate racial polarization in South Africa. Could this be perhaps one means of countering this?
I think it's one of many tools. The foundation has looked at how do we get young people involved in this fight against racism. And the essay competition is just one of those. So us understanding what young people are going through on a daily basis, but also looking at the solutions that they come up with in their own essays and trying to implement that as society.
What do you think their views are, particularly young people, on racism?
I think
do they really understand the intensity and the impact it has on people?
I would say they do.
Really?
We are saying we're in a post-apartheid South Africa, we're in a free country, but we fail to understand that young people go through experiences of racism on a daily basis, whether it's in their communities, in the shopping centers, or in their schools. So yes, young people do understand racism and its impact.
Okay. Take us through the selection criteria. How do you go about selecting them?
So you must be between the ages of 14 and 25. Okay. You must choose from one of the topics that we've given through. Okay. And then you must write an essay that's no more than 1,400 words. And you either email it to us or you post it to us. So we try and make it easy for young people to be doing that. And then they go through a phase, I guess, a selection phase, where we have a team of young people once again this year. And that's a team of students from Wits Education School. And they will be going through the essays this year, and we will then announce our top 20, then the top 10, and eventually the top 3, who will then be awarded and also taken to Robben Island.
Wow, wow. Speaking of some of the topics that they'll be writing about, what are some of these topics?
So in no particular order, one is #Unite Against Racism. Race is not real, but racism is. Othering and belonging, and racism in South African schools, a thing of the past, with a question mark.
Okay. Now, last year there were about 100 applicants. So what are you hoping to achieve in this year's edition?
Correction, last year was 1,000.
1,000, actually. I beg your pardon.
So we've been growing. So the first year was about 800. Last year we made it up to 1,000, and we're hoping that we go over that number this year. So the more youth voices we get to hear, the better for us.
And what are some of the restrictions?
So no, not many restrictions. It's just them getting the age group right, the word count right, and sticking to the topic. Because what we've been getting is people who are writing using last year's topic. They need to get with the times. We got new topics this year. So sticking to those topics. But basically, we just want to understand. It needs to be real. It doesn't need to be higher grade English. But it just needs to be real. And in any of the South African official languages, they're most welcome to write.
And I guess this particular subject will improve the young people's research methodologies.
Yes, so we say to young people, do as much research as possible, use your own experiences when writing these essays, but most importantly, try and look at solutions or doable solutions that the foundation can use in shaping its own programs for young people. And fighting against racism.
Yeah, and no plagiarism, please.
No plagiarism, yes. Oh, no, that's a big one. But we've been fortunate that we haven't been getting much of those in the past 2 years, and we're hoping it will stay that way.
And when is the due date for the applications?
We are closing on the 31st. What's that? It's in a day? 2 days? Something like that, yes.
Days, Okay, please give us the details as to the email addresses and where they submit those applications.
So they can post it to us to PO Box 2040, Lenasia 1820, or they can email it to us at youth@katradafoundation.org.
Okay. All right.
And they can give us a call at the office for more details or information, I guess.
What's that number?
011-854-0082.
Okay. Yeah, then I see one of the topics is racism in South African schools, a thing of the past. About racism in school, where is it most prevalent?
I wouldn't
Is
say...
it out of school, within the school setting?
I think it's both. It's how they relate with each other when in schools, and if the racism exists within the school, when they go out of school, they then grouped, or they group themselves as per their race group. So that's how it's been. I think it's like a cycle. If racism exists within your school, when you go out of school, you then don't mix again, because you still have that mentality or that doings that are happening within, yeah.
All right. Vusi, always a pleasure having you in studio.
No, thank you, and I hope to see you next year.
Likewise. Likewise. That was Vusi Wenkosi talking to us about the 2019 Ahmed Kathrada Foundation Essay Competition Against Racism.